Welcome back to Legal Research for Everyone. In the last video, we took a quick look at what a case looks like as published on Westlaw compared to what it looked like in print. Now in this video, we're going to look at how to maneuver around within a case published on Westlaw, and we're going to look at three different things. We're going to look at something called star paging, which refers to the page numbers in the print reporters and how they are translated on Westlaw and how to use those to move around within the case. Second, we're going to look at the drop-down navigation menu, so you can see they use that to maneuver around within the case. And finally, we'll look at those headnotes again to see how to use those to maneuver around within the case. Okay, here's the case we looked at in the last video. We're going to use the same case now. At the top, I want to remind you that we have the citations to the reporters that this case is published in. It's published in two reporters, California Appellate Reports, 5th Series, and California Reporter, 3rd Series. These two are not reporters, and so they're not part of star paging. Now, the first thing you need to know is that the number of stars involved depends on the order in which the reporters are listed up here. So California Appellate Reports, in this case, will have 1 star, and California Reporter 3rd, in this case, will have 2 stars. So now let me show you what I mean. I'm going to scroll down. Notice the first page of California Reporter is 409. I'm going to scroll down and find the beginning of page 410 in the California Reporter. And there it is. It's in a green. You might be able to change the color in the settings, I'm not sure. But you'll notice it has 2 stars. So this 2 stars is referring back to California Reporter, and then the number 410. This is where page 410 starts in the print reporter. And I'm going to scroll down, and there you'll see 1 star 1243. Ignore that for the moment. I'm going to scroll down till I find 411, and there it is. 2 stars 411. So what this is telling me is that everything between here and here is on page 410 in the print reporter. Now, why do you care? Because suppose you were going to cite to something here. Suppose you're writing a memo or a brief, and let's say you want to cite this part. A probation condition ordering someone to stay away from a particular location need only express the obligation it imposes in ordinary and understandable terms. And you've quoted it, and now you want to provide a cite to it because you have to provide cites. So you would cite this as being on page 410 in the reporter because it falls between here and here. Now we could continue on and we could find page 412 and then 413 and so forth, but I think you get the idea. Okay, so now let's look for the pagination, which is a fancy word meaning the page numbers, for the other reporter, which is the California Appellate Reports. The first page was 1241. There is nothing from 1242. Here's the beginning of 1243 with 1 star. And if we scroll down carefully, we're going to find that right here is where 1244 starts. So everything between here and here is on page 1243 in that volume of the reporter. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's not very much. And that's the case with official reporters. There really isn't a lot on every individual page. And so we could continue scrolling until we found page 1245. And let's just go ahead and do that because it's not very far. There's page 1245. So everything from here to here is where it is what was on page 1244 in the print reporter. And here's another page from the other reporter, page 412. So you can see what they're showing you is where each page breaks so you can cite properly. Now let's look at the drop-down menu. It's very simple. It's right here. You click on the little down arrow, and it tells you the different parts of a case, and you can jump straight to those parts. Now, this is pretty simple because this is a very short case, but if you wanted to jump straight to the attorneys and law firms, you could jump straight there. Or if you wanted to go straight to the opinion, you could go right there. This could be especially helpful if it's a very long opinion and maybe you're near the end of it and you want to go straight back to the headnotes or straight back to the beginning of the opinion. You can do that. You can also type a particular page in here and you don't have to tell it any number of stars. It will just take you straight to the number you type in. So that's very easy. While we're here, let me also show you how to see, I'm automatically doing the scroll up when I could go straight there and go right back to the beginning. Suppose you want to search, and this again is a very short, simple case, but suppose you want to find everywhere in the case where the word away is used. So I can do my search, and now the word away will be highlighted in green, and I can use these arrows. This will show me the next use of the word away, and then the next, and the next. Or I could go backwards and see the previous use. And so I can find everywhere in the case that a word or phrase was used. Now you need to remember when you're finished to click Remove Search, otherwise those words are going to stay highlighted for everything else you do. Now the final thing I want to show you is how to use the headnotes to move around in a case. So I'm going to go up here and go straight to the headnotes. Now the headnote numbers are listed, and I can say I'm mainly interested in this particular headnote. This is a very short case, so it's not a big deal, but imagine you're looking at a 100-page Supreme Court decision with 85 headnotes, and you find a handful of those headnotes that are exactly what you're interested in. Rather than having to page through the case trying to find where the court discussed that issue, you can simply click on the headnote number, here, number 5, and it takes you straight to that headnote. As you can see here, the issues in headnotes 4, 5, and 6 are all discussed in this paragraph. If I want to go back to the headnotes, I just click it here, and it takes me right back to the headnotes. So once again, let me just click a different one, say headnote number 10, go straight to that headnote, and then I can go straight back. And it's very simple to do and makes it very easy to navigate around the case. Finally, we've gotten to what you've been waiting for. In the next few videos, we'll learn how to find case law on Westlaw using 3 of the approaches we've talked about before, the having a citation, using a table of contents, and using the word search approach.